So hello guys, welcome back to the complete Python series. In this video we are going to see different ways of writing a function in Python. In Python we can write functions in 4 different ways. We will see each of them one by one. So let us take one example of swapping two numbers and write the same function in 4 different ways. So the first way is to write a function with arguments and with return value. It means that a function will also contain some arguments and also it will return a certain value. So let us write a function named swapNum. This function will take two arguments, that is a and b. Then we can print that before swapping values of a and b, this will print the values of a and b before swapping. Then we can swap the numbers a and b by using a comma b equal to b comma a. It means that the values will be swapped between a and b. Then we can just return the values of a and b. So to call a function, we can just write the name of the function, that is swapNum, followed by parenthesis, and pass the parameters as 5 and 10. Now this function will return the values of a and b. So we need to store these values in certain variables. So let us take it as a and b. So the value of a and b will be stored in these variables a and b. Now we can just print the value of a and b. Now let us run this code. You can see that the values of a and b before swapping was 5 and 10, and after swapping we get values as 10 and 5. This was one way of writing a function with help of arguments and return value. Now the second way is to write a function with arguments and without return values. So we will write the same function, that is swapNum, to swap a number, and we will write two arguments as a and b. Then before swapping we can just print the values of a and b. Then we can swap value by using a comma b equal to b comma a. Then in this type we don't have to use return value. So if we don't want to use a return value, we have to print the value inside this function itself. So let us print it. Now to call a function, we will just use name of a function followed by parenthesis and pass the value 5 and 10. Now let us run the code. You can see that we are getting output as 10, 5, and the values of a and b are successfully swapped. So one thing to remember is that when we don't return a value, we have to use that value inside a function itself. This was all about writing a function with arguments and without return value. So now the next type is to write a function without arguments and with return value. So we will write the same function, that is swapNum, but we don't have to write any arguments in this. As we are not passing any argument inside a function, we need to declare that arguments inside the body of function. So we will declare a as 5 and b as 10. Then we can print before swapping the values of A and B. Then we can swap the values of A and B. Now after swapping we have to just return the values of A and B. So I will return it using a return statement. Now just to call a function we will use name of function followed by parenthesis. In this parenthesis we don't need to specify arguments as the arguments are defined inside the function body. Now this function will return some values of A and B. So we need to store in a variable that is A and B. Now we can just print the values of A and B after swapping. Now let us run a code. You can see that we have successfully swapped the values between A and B. This was all about writing a function without arguments and with return value. Now the next type is to write a function without arguments and without return value. So to understand this, we will take the same example of swapping a number. Now in this type we don't have to use any arguments nor we have to use return values. So we will not pass any arguments. So as we are not passing any arguments, we need to declare the arguments inside a function body. So I will declare A as 5 and B as 10. Now we can print values of A and B before swapping. Now we can swap the values of A and B. Now after swapping we have to print the values inside the function body. This is because we are not using return statement. Now to call a function we will just use name of function followed by parenthesis. Now let us run a code. You can see that we have successfully swapped the values between A and B. This was all about the different types of writing a function in Python. Thank you.